Hey, what is up YouTube? Andrew Rooney here. We are back with a very special PayPal request. Now this one has come through from Matt Tidball, and it's also high up on the list of requests from regular contributor to the channel, Mike Gehrman. So, well, thank you to both of you. I'm going to read out Matt's message here. Andrew, hello from Alberta. I'm not going to read out that next bit because I don't want to get my channel... I'm not going to say anything else. Write in the comments what you think he wrote next. Hello from Alberta. Beep, 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 something. I am hoping you can do a reaction for Black Sabbath, Sabbra, Cadabra. This is my third favorite Sabbath song of all time, and by extension, my third favorite song of all time. That's pretty serious. Those are big words. When we're starting to talk about favorite song of all time, you know it's getting serious, but Black Sabbath, I can understand it. And Mike Gehrman, you know, another huge supporter of my channel and has requested this also. Mike, thank you so much for the Black Sabbath wear that you've sent me all the way from the States to New Zealand. Absolutely unbelievable. But guys, we're going to head straight into this request. And just before we do, I would like to remind you that my Drumeo free trial link is back up and running. It was broken for about 30 days and I got a lot of messages saying, hey, your Drumeo link free trial is not working. It's back up and running now. Go and get it. And the reason for the broken link was a lot of work going in at the Drumeo and Musora sites. Musora is basically an umbrella company that has Drumeo within it. And it also had Guitario, Singio, and Pianote, guitar, singing, piano lessons, all under the same umbrella. And you know, you could subscribe and join in on those and get lessons on each instrument. The reason for the delay was they've actually combined it. So for the same rate, or the same free trial if you want to check them all out, you can literally get basically unlimited drum, piano, guitar, and vocal content. It is absolutely mind-blowing. Go and check it out. Let me know what you think. Anyway, back to this pick from Matt Tidball and also Mike Gehrman, and it is Sabbra Cadabra. Let's check it out. I just love it already. By the way, guys, I do have a Black Sabbath playlist now, and it is growing really fast, thanks to people like Mike Gehrman and Matt Tidball. The panning already, you know, we're so used to this in-your-face slap compression, like bam, right there. With the panning and the signal, this is so much more subtle and, oh, yeah, already. We're 4 seconds in, and I'm already freaking out about Black Sabbath. I mean, this is par for the course on this channel by now. Hi-hat. It's right over here in the hi-hat. We're straight back into shuffle world. The amount of shuffle and swing feel in Black Sabbath is one of the truly astonishing, surprising things to me. It's not anymore so much, but it has been on my Black Sabbath discovery journey. That double tom hit as well. That is so, I mean, kind of blue, Jimmy Cobb, da 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 da. That is such a jazzy, bluesy thing. I just love this. Oh, man. So much of the dictating of the feel there is thanks to Bill Ward. Did you hear how he just slammed on the brakes, took them into like halftime, and then launched them off again? So much of that feeling you're getting as a listener, as a fan of Black Sabbath. Perhaps you're not a drummer. A lot of people do watch my channel and they're not drummers. And thankfully, I mean, beautiful things. Some people have reached out and said, hey, I appreciate my favorite band a lot more thanks to you. So that's a really good thing. That's probably the perfect feedback to get, to be honest. If you feel this kind of momentum and like slowing down and tension and release and like launching into this chorus, hey, a lot of it is due to every member of the band. Plenty of it is due to the drums, and either taking away groove subtraction or groove addition into the connective tissue of the groove. Masterclass. This is totally worth transcribing and learning this. It's just such a beautiful setup. I'm going to rewind this, by the way. It's such a great setup of tension and release and setting up a chorus. It's just masterclass. Oh man, I'm a total Black Sabbath geek now. Okay, I'm going to back this up. I've got to hear this, how he just slams on the brakes and then takes us off again. Shuffle. Break coming up. There's driving music in it. It's going to do the same thing next time around. This is the driving bit, man. You're on the road trip. It's late. You're coming home from the party. 1973, 1974, or coming home from a gig, right? And you just put this on and you're just rocking out with your friends in the car. I know it. Oh man, I know the feeling. I can picture this, even though I wasn't there and I was not listening to Black Sabbath. This is the kind of thing, I would do with my friends. We'd put on our favorite band or song or whoever it was, and you'd come home from that party or that gig and you'd just be walking on I was going to say walking on sunshine, but that's, I don't know, walking on air. There you go, walking on air, and you just had such a great night and life couldn't get any better, or the night couldn't get any better, and then you just go home and you're rocking out to this. That's right? Am I right? Or am I right? There's that handbrake. There's a different tempo here, isn't it? Got a clean piano in there as well. Honky tonk piano. It's just totally changing the feels here. Now we're into like a funky 16th note kind of groove. people critique Ozzy, even fans of the band, say, oh, Ozzy, this, I think the vocals here I wouldn't change a thing. The vocals are great. With Ozzy in the band, is really different to Dio, in my opinion. And I feel like he's one of the instruments. It's just, I don't know, I need a good way to describe this. He's got a real greasy, in the pocket style vocals of not trained, like, I don't know how to say it. He's just, it's a band, it's just, he just fits in like perfectly. Not to say Ronnie James Dio doesn't fit in perfectly. Totally different vibe. Probably a much better technical singer. But Ozzy's just got some kind of intangible quality and actually sounds like a guitar a lot of the time. I find his vocal tone, with his blend with Tony Iommi, there is almost like a distorted guitar tone to his vocals. Really, really interesting. I really rate Ozzy. I rate Ozzy much more than I thought I would, put it that way. On the cowbell at the end there. You don't really get that on albums these days. I mean, that last hit, they completely missed it. And the piano was completely off with the drums. Again, hey, I don't say this as a diss or, trying to throw shade or embarrass anyone or, say that they suck. I'm saying it in that it's really refreshing. They're jamming. They're completely improvising. That ending was just play. Just play. Sometimes the best thing to do is just play. I bet they would have eyeballed each other and there was a flam. It was delayed between that piano hit and the drum hit with snare, I think it was. You just don't get this anymore. That is why these older albums you can go back to and listen and re-listen and re-listen because you're going to hear something different every time. If I listen to that song again now and just put it on again and just listen through the whole song again, I'm going to hear completely different stuff because there's humanity, there's humans playing these instruments, right? And it is pre-perfection on recordings, and there are actual like proper mistakes, right? What we would consider mistakes. And they're just so cherished and valued now. And, you wouldn't change a note, right? You're a Black Sabbath fan, you wouldn't change a note on this album. You wouldn't change a lyric. You wouldn't change a flam between the piano and the drums. Man, it's so refreshingly organic and imperfect. There was another point there towards the end in this vamp bit where I imagine Bill Ward wanted to go to a crash ride to really open it up and take it to another level on the outro. And he went to it, and then he went back to the hi-hats. He only went to it for like half a bar, and then went back to the hi-hats, and then revisited that crash ride. Again, I mean, it sounds like a diss. I mean, these days you might do another take and say, hey, you came in a bit early on that crash ride, just leave it, and that'll be our signal to go to the next. But they've just left it in. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to get in trouble for this, because I'm being very, very honest here. I'm not saying it is a mistake. It does sound like a mistake's the wrong word. Misjudgment, perhaps. But this is the great thing. It's like when you go to a gig. Why do you still go to live gigs, right? You want an experience. You want something that you can remember, that the band gave you, that they've never done before, or they're not going to do it the next gig in the next city, right? What you saw is just a unique snapshot of the time. And that's what you're getting with these big bands, Sabbath, Led Zepp. Back in the day, you would get a real experience where there was an extended solos and vamps, where people were just really opening up and letting loose and letting a lot of their personality out. Man, I'm going to get slammed in the comments, but I mean all of this in the best way possible. I'm not coming at it from a hoity-toity drum teacher. Oh, I heard a mistake. Wow, congratulations. Tick on. For me, it's not like that at all. It's just, it is noticeable. I had a student bring in Beast of Burden, Rolling Stones, a while back, and I had a long day of teaching, and I had been doing a lot of modern pop, where it's all samples, obviously, and programmed drums, and that's fine, nothing against that at all. But it was just so refreshing when the student said, I really like Beast of Burden by Rolling Stones. It was a young student as well. Put it on, and it was just like, oh man, this is different. This is speeding up, and there's displacement happening on the drums and syncopation, and the drum beat is changing constantly, because it's old, and it's not overly sophisticated music. It's rock and roll, and that's what we want. And that's not to say they're not good. It's just a different vibe. And I'm going to sound like an old dinosaur, but I feel like we've lost a bit of that rough around the edges rock and roll in this modern, perfect world. Oh my goodness. I'm going to stop there before I get myself in real trouble, because I'm just digging, getting deeper and deeper. Matt Tibble, thank you so much for the request. Mike Gammon, thank you for suggesting this one also. And thank you, Mike, for the merch, the Black Sabbath merch. Huge fan of the band these days. As I said at the start, I do have a Black Sabbath playlist. Go and check it out. Heaps of good stuff in there, and you'll actually see me discovering Black Sabbath for the first time ever. And it's led me down this whole other path. Ended up doing a couple of Black Sabbath covers, and I needed to do more. This would be a great one to do, actually. And guys, if you do enjoy my channel, please do consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, and leaving a comment for what you thought of this video and what I should check out in the future. If you would like to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon. It's just $5 a month, and you get access to all the blocked videos. If you have a direct reaction request that you definitely want to get done on the channel, that is via the PayPal link. And again, I should mention my Drumeo free trial link, I'm very happy to say, is up and running and better than ever. You get access to not only an infinite amount of drum resources, thousands of drum transcriptions and lessons from a who's who of the world's best drummers. You also get access to guitar, singing, and piano lessons. Are you kidding me? For the same price. Well, free if you do my trial. Oh man, I'm buzzing about that. That was just a great pick. Sabbra Cadabra. Man, I just love this band more and more every time. Guys, take care. Until next time, ciao.